Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Alright, today I kind of want to talk about the Rise of Skywalker.
But why?
Why indeed? Well, you know how week after week we were telling people not to buy the comic adaptation?
Yes, the Marvel comic. We always tell people not to buy them because they generally are just a
Play by
one-for-one
play,
sort of,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the last issue is a different case.
Okay.
I think the last issue kind of merits buying.
The whole thing or just the last issue? Like if the
Well,
other five issues
wait.
are...
Issue
Okay.
1 and the last issue. How about that?
Okay, so you
I've got
skip
reasons.
all the crap in between. Got it.
And I will explain myself here.
Okay, you better. You better.
Okay, so it's like they tried to fix some stuff.
Some things simply cannot be fixed.
But they tried. They actually
You
tried.
will try, yeah.
It's sad that they tried because the things that they included in the comic that are not featured in the actual movie, I think would have helped the movie.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
saying they're going to make it a work of art or a masterpiece,
No, you'd have to redo the movie for that.
but at the same time, I do think it would have improved the movie.
Okay. I'm curious now.
So they added a little bit more, we could say romance. They added a little bit more humor.
You said they made it better.
They added a bit more heart. A lot more heart.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, they open up this time with like a montage of like Rey, she's coming to the planet, to Exegol for the last fight. The whole time you're seeing these panels, you're seeing Lando Calrissian's speech. You're reading what did he say
Yeah.
to inspire the
I'd heard about
galaxy
that, yeah.
to show up for the final battle.
All
here.
like 10,000 or 14. Isn't it like 14,000 ships or something that showed
Yeah.
up? I don't remember the exact number.
Following Rey's trail through the...
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't ask how, like, if you see that, like Rey's going through the red whatever stuff, and
Yeah.
it looks like it's very
Yeah.
dangerous, and then like 14,000 ships just, oh yeah, it's fine. We didn't need
Fine.
no Sith Wayfinder or anything. We just followed the coordinates. We're good.
I feel like that was an important thing. I think that's something that should have been in the movie. To hear Lando kind of giving that speech over the events on
Sure.
screen, I think that would have helped. I think that would have been a nice moment full of heart because he has to reference Leia's passing to the galaxy, and I would have liked that inclusion.
I think they wanted to make it more dramatic because it's like Poe was like, oh, we've lost, it's over, everything. And it's like, not all of us or something. And Lando shows up.
But they still could have played the speech
Sure.
and done the not all of us thing, but you would have
Yeah.
heard what called the people.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying they tried to play it like, oh no, the Empire or the First Order, Final Order, whatever order we're on
Some
at this
sort of
point.
order.
Yeah, that they're going to win. And no, the good guys all showed up. You know, it's very exciting
Next,
stuff.
we'll have the New Order.
Oh, please don't. No more orders for a while. Order 66 was awesome, and every order since then has been a disappointment at this fine establishment called
Okay.
Star Wars sequel trilogy.
The next kind of change is when that scene where we saw Rey, she's got the lightsaber, and then she passes it somehow through the Force to Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
They
dyad
actually
stuff.
have a little inner monologue that's kind of cute. Where
Oh, they
she's
talk
like,
to each other.
Yes,
Okay.
where she's like, oh, it worked, you got it. And he's like, Mystery of the Force later, fighting now. And like that.
Yeah, I thought you said they made it
that-
better.
It's quirky. It's cute. It's
Okay,
maybe that's not an improvement.
Okay.
It's just kind of like, oh, well,
Sure.
so they were communicating with each other because
Yeah.
they can feel each other because they're a dyad, so they're kind of playing more on that.
Yeah, I kind of got the sense they were communicating during that because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise you'd be like, what the hell? Why did I reach behind me and find a lightsaber?
All right, one thing I really think would have helped with the movie is that whole line of "I am all the Jedi," which you kind of heard some voiceovers of the other ones like "I'm here for you, Rey."
Yeah.
Well, in the comics, they gave you a beautiful montage of a bunch of Force ghosts like standing there supporting her.
Is this, you want me to be angry about that? Because
No,
that
I
is
think-
not how Force Ghosts will work.
No, but they wouldn't actually be Force ghosts, but she senses. You know, it's like they're there with her when
Yeah.
they're not. Like their presence is there with her. I'm not saying the actual Force ghost should have shown up, but it would have been kind of cool. I mean,
It would have made more sense than
yeah.
just the voices. I'll give you that. But
mean-
Force Ghosts do not work that way. There's only a couple of them. And
Luke
you have
is
to,
there, Anakin,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Mace, Plo Koon, Ace Sakuya, Yoda, Luminara, and even Ahsoka is back there with like a hood up.
She probably just projected herself. Like where Luke died to it, Filoni's like, no, she can project herself across the galaxy and be fine.
I feel like it's not supposed to represent them actually being there as Force ghosts, but more the sense of
Yes.
she feels their presence supporting her. Whether
Sure.
they're alive or not, because Dave won't acknowledge Ahsoka's dead even at that time in
No,
the
he
timeline.
said, that doesn't mean she's dead. Yeah, she's never going to die.
She's projecting herself from
Like I
another
said,
galaxy.
She's
that strong.
Yeah, she's that strong and just like, it's fine. I do this all the time.
But it's kind of cool because they're all standing there with lightsabers ignited, like really there to help her.
Yeah.
And I think that would have kind of been nice, even if they just included the Force Ghost ones. The ones that are actual Force Ghosts, and they just included them.
Here's a crazy thought. You could have made Anakin Skywalker a part of the story instead of like just ignoring him entirely and never even saying his name.
Hayden would have come back for that.
Hey, of course he would have.
He would have been happy to.
And then at the end, when Anakin is like there to help, like, oh, he's helping her fulfill the prophecy of the chosen one. You could have done more with it than just that, but you could have tried to tie it into the whole thing and made us care about Rey and like Rey because she's a part of it and she's not OP all the time, or at least at the start. There's a lot of things you could have done to make that actually a really cool moment when Anakin is there and like, hey, I'm with you.
I'm with you.
To the end of the line, yeah.
Anyways.
Because I always say that.
All right, next up, when Rey dies and Kylo comes back to her side, there's an inner monologue where he finds her, body and he thinks, Rey, I can't feel you. Well, because they had a connection and he feels the absence and it kind of gives you that twang of sadness.
That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah. And then when she comes back to life and they kiss, we kind of get a collage of moments from Ben's life because we know that he's dying at this point, right? You get to see him as a baby in Leia's arms. You see him training with Uncle Luke. It's kind of like a beautiful moment. And why I said you would like to have issue 1 as well is because it pairs with an image in issue 1 where you see Kylo's mask being repaired and you get a collage of like cruelty and darkness and obsession with power. And now in his final moments, you're really kind of seeing more of this redemption. You're seeing him remembering the good times. You're seeing his life in the light. And so it's kind of nice because this is really acknowledging his return from that cruelty they show you in the first issue to being Ben. And I feel like that helps him as a character.
It actually sounds, to be fair, sounds pretty good.
Right.
I like that, yeah.
I feel like, why couldn't they have done this in the movie?
Because it was written by J.J. Abrams.
It's crazy that a comic artist who's like, well, it took him years to think about this.
You did have
I'm
time.
doing my best for you guys. And he comes out with this, and I'm like, why? Why you gotta try and fix things? Because now when I watch the movie again, it's gonna be even worse because I know that there were inclusions they could have made to at least turn it up a little bit.
I think I remember hearing about it, somebody did some work at the end of the film where they did put the Force Ghosts in there. Not that, again, it totally makes sense, but it would have worked better, I guess, especially for the casual fan who doesn't know that Force Ghosts shouldn't.
Well, some of the Force Ghosts could have showed.
But there are some of them, yeah. I'm cool with Luke, and I'm fine with Leia being a Force Ghost because there's the Skywalker clause in the contract because Anakin didn't train or anything. No, but she's at the end of the film.
Yes.
Kind of fine with that, too.
Or like how they help each other, like how Anakin only is there because we presume that.
Yeah, Obi-Wan. Well, that's kind of canon that Obi-Wan kind of helps him, yeah.
Right, and by seeing Leia, you could just presume that Luke helped.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm kind of fine with Leia being a Force Ghost. Luke, of course, makes sense.
All right, so let's move into new this week. Tuesday, the Star Wars Acolyte visual guide is coming out.
Yes.
We're going to talk some about that tomorrow.
We will be there to pick it up bright and early.
Are you? You going to pick it up? I'm at work, so that's
all.
Okay, the visual guide is going to talk about locations, vehicles, insider stuff written, of course, by Pablo Hidalgo. And I do have some interesting information from the previews of that. There are some tidbits that I find interesting to the Star Wars galaxy as a whole. Let's say that.
Okay.
There are no comics this week for Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah. Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time, we'll be having voice chat once again. There might be some more Battlefront play. I don't know.
Oh, there'll be more Battlefront play.
It took us forever to actually get in a group because last time.
The invites were popping up, yeah.
And that's kind of it for the week. I've already got like a list of movies for next month, but nothing else of note this month. I mean, the next movie that's coming out is July 2nd. If anyone wants to watch Jurassic World try and save itself again as a franchise.
Oh, isn't this aren't they like
Rebirth.
A new, it's like a third trilogy, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is. This one they got Scarlett Johansson to come in there and run around.
Why not? Yeah.
Because
Because
You
Marvel,
you need to.
star power.
They're trying to go with star power this time. I mean, they used what is it? What's his name? I can remember it was Peter Quill. They used Star-Lord last time to try and save that. Yes. Star-Lord and the Raptors.
Sounds like a bad band from the 70s.
I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. It bothers me. He played Andy in Parks. I can tell you the roles he's played, but I can't tell you his actual name.
I know his name. I'm not telling you.
Really? That's mean.
It is mean.
It's bothering me now.
I know it is. That's why the look on your face, you're like, I'm trying.
I'll remember it as soon as we're done recording.
And then you'll shout it out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. That's it.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you this time. Now it is your turn. Take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of any and all of today's news, and let's talk some Chris Pratt. And until next time, thanks for watching.
You're a prat.